welcome to another episode of The Soup Bowl, where we talk about leading our own lives and how life gets messy while we're doing it. I'm your host, Renee Murdoch, and I thank you for joining me on today. I thank you for liking, I thank you for sharing, and I thank you for tuning in, listening in, and just, doing life with me. And I'm so happy to be doing life with you as well. What we're going to get into today, there has been a lot going on in our world, in my world, in this life. And I tell you, I could say that this is for teens, young adults, but I really just think it's for parents, right? The thing that's on my heart, it could be for all of us, right? Wherever we are, because we're all in different seasons of our lives. And, some of us have school-age children. Well, let me say you have elementary, right, children, some in middle school, some in high school. And then there are some of us that have those that are in college and even out of college, and they're just, living their lives, being young adults, and doing their things. And at each stage, our parenting gets different, right? Our parenting is like, you have to say, not one step ahead, but quite a few step ahead, right? to be in the wisdom of knowing how to handle each one of your children, our children, in the uniqueness and the likeness of how they are designed. Now, we could be doing some really great things as parenting and not so great things, because we can say one thing and then our children can see us doing another thing. So it's important that our words align up with our actions. We can't expect something from them that we are not doing ourselves. We want them to be better. They should be better. They should be going further than we are. And we should be making sure that those opportunities present themselves, at whatever season in their lives, whatnot. And so I want to make sure that we're understanding how we ought to be allowing them to take on this life's journey and learn from it, and not try to shield them from everything, right? So the word of the Lord says that we should train up a child, right? And that we should teach them, right, the ways of the Lord. And so whether you are, a believer or not, you're training them up to something, whether you're standing on that or whether you're standing on whatever those values or beliefs are. You're training them up to what? Be a morally good person, right? To do the right thing, to be kind, to be gentle, to treat people as they want to be treated. You are instilling these things into them as they grow up before they go out on their own. And so when we're doing that, we have to have enough confidence that we have taught them the right thing by modeling the behavior that we are asking of them, and being transparent about our upbringing and transparent about our journey of how we have learned and overcome and even made some mistakes. How did we recover from that? Did we recover from it? What lessons did we learn along the way? Now, they have this thing called helicopter parents, right? Is that any of you out there? I don't know. Let's dive into it a little bit here. Because a helicopter parent, you think about how a helicopter just, sits and it just hovers, right, over a particular area. And so they're saying that, parents nowadays have become helicopter parents, that they are just making sure, watching all their children's moves, right? Being very intimately involved in their lives, whether it be schooling, whether it be sports, whether it be even their friend groups, even as they in their dating, not dating, in their finances, right? That we are extremely involved in all those aspects of their lives. Now the difference is that you would be present enough to know what's going on, and when they get to a certain age, that they begin to make decisions for themselves so they can see the outcome of their decisions versus making the decisions for them, choosing the sport for them, choosing the career path for them, choosing the activities, the camps, and those things of that nature for them. And then when they go off, right, choosing the schooling, the higher education, the job for them, their friend groups for them. We're so involved that they're not able to discover exactly who they are. Now you have to ask yourself, how many of us, right, we graduated high school, we went off and did different things, and then you find yourself in your late 30s, 40s, going back and getting another career, certification, going to school. I'll raise my hand, right? And so there's numerous reasons why. But I believe a lot of it has to do with what was placed on us by our parents, by our community, and what we believed, right, that we should be doing. And so we did those things. And the result of doing those things, we did it because we were taught that you need to go out there, be a good citizen, get a good job, and have a certain quality of life. But we were never taught about going after your dream, your passion, the thing that's just burning and yearning inside of you, to do something that is greater than what you are. It was always, these are your choices. Choose one, or we're going to choose one for you. We really already chose it for me because I was only given these choices. But never really taught to just kind of truly believe that thing that's inside of you, that passion that's inside of you, to really go out there and just chase it and go after it until you see the fruition of it, right? Until you see that vision come to pass. That drive, right? That thing that gets you up in the morning, that thing that you will spend time over and lose track of everything else, right? So we weren't really taught that. Now we were saved. People would say, "Oh, follow your dreams. What do you want to be?" Right? But they really never really just kind of drove that and kind of pushed you into that. And so I would say, let's be mindful that we are allowing our children to discover truly who they were meant to be and the journey that they were meant to go on. We cannot shield them from all things. There are some things that we can, but we cannot from all things. We have to allow their lives to play out the way they are supposed to play out, so they can grow and learn and be this next generation of leaders that will lead us with integrity, that will lead us in good values, that will lead us in virtue and not in vices. We have too many leaders out here who are liars. They cannot be trusted. They are narcissists. They are selfish. They think of themselves. They don't think about the greater good. And this is what we're left with, right? Because they're just hungry. They're greedy, right? For more more prestige, more power, more authority, more finances, and not having a heart truly for people. Because when you think about leading and what it really is, right, it's like leading people to greener pastures. I mean, just picture for a moment, a greener pasture, right? Something wonderful, something great. I'm not leading people into destruction. I'm not leading them into a desert place where there's no water, no food, right? I'm leading them into greater places for themselves. Leading is selfless and not selfish. I'm thinking of others. I see the beauty. I see the gold. I see the treasures inside of each and every person that I have been given the honor and the responsibility for. I'm not there for them to serve me. I'm not there for them to help build my name up. I'm not there to get a crew, a groupie group, right, to make my name famous or to sign off on what I'm saying or to even become who I am because they're their own person. I'm not there to manipulate and to use and to abuse so I can be able to stand on them. When in actuality, they should be able to stand on my shoulder. So this is what leading is all about. You have to ask yourself, what type of leader am I? Because it really starts with our home and ourselves and how we're leading ourselves and how we're leading our families and how we're leading our children. Because if I'm going to helicopter them, if I'm going to be so involved to where though I'm making decisions as though it was my own life, am I doing that when I'm leading others outside of my home? If I'm a team lead, a manager, a CEO, whatever that position may be, where I'm given the responsibility to lead other people, am I allowing people to flourish where they are? Am I allowing people to make mistakes where they are? These are the questions we must ask ourselves. And these are the adjustments we must make to have a thriving and growing community. Do you want your children to thrive? Yes. Do you want them to grow? Yes. But they're not going to do that if we're making decisions for them and trying to control every intricate part of their lives. See, we all have been purposed. We all have a journey. And if we continually intervene, then they won't experience the goodness because it's all good at the end of the day, even the ugly and the bad. The goodness of this life that helps us mature, that helps us grow. There was an incident, right, with young person. I'm not going to say any names. And they got themselves in a jam. And when we had a conversation, when me and Murdoch had a conversation with this individual, their response was, what are we going to do? What are you going to do? And they were asking me, Murdoch, what are we going to do? And I was like, what? What are they talking about? I'm not the person that's in the situation. You are. So no, what are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? And so, after, me and Murdoch, we talked about, like, well, how dare they say, and almost like in a demanding way, And I thought to myself, did we go wrong somewhere with, what's going on? Or is it that we could have helped the individual to the point where they would have their audacity for that to even come out their mouth? And I'm like, no, because I definitely believe in loving you and correcting you all at the same time, right? So, but it really made me think that when we say, we have this thing now, right, with this generation that, oh, they're entitled. But why are they entitled? I mean, where did that come from? Like, they just didn't wake up and it was like, oh, you owe me this. Is it because that based on how we grew up, we wanted to make sure that it was better for them, but there was still no balance and we just threw everything out the window because they have a lot of more opportunities than what we did? So I believe that you can love and correct and discipline and allow them to go on their journey. We are not our children's savior. We cannot save them from everything. My thing is, you're going to have to swallow that pill. It might be a little bitter. You might not even get no water with it because it might not go down well, but you're going to have to swallow that pill. Meaning that decision that you made, you're going to have to reap those consequences. And whatever the outcome is, that's it. You can grow and learn from that. Whatever it is, you can learn and grow from it. If it wasn't such a great decision, then you will learn from it. We have to get to a point where we become no longer telling them what to do, but giving them advice on how to do. And that's if they want it. You want it, I'm here for it. You don't want it, you go ahead, boo. You go ahead. You know what I'm saying? It's because they're going to do what they want to do anyway, right? And when they do it, you can't be right there, like, oh, I'm going to get them out of it, Nah, you're going to let them swallow that pill. You're going to let them take on that sticky note because if you don't, then you will get the calls. What are you going to do about it? I know you got it. Why aren't you going to help me? What? What are we talking about? No. You want this quality of life, then you're going to have to do what is needed to get the quality of life that you want. If you make a bad financial decision, I am not there to bail you out. You are going to have to learn from that. I'm teaching you what I know. I'm teaching you how to get ahead, how, these I don't want to say shortcuts, but life hacks, right? To prevent you from having to go through what I went through, right? You can start off with great credit. I've set you up. You're good to go. It's up to you whether you grow it and maintain it. If you decide to go your own way, right? You decide to make bad financial decisions. You decide that you want to live from paycheck to paycheck and have a whole bunch of credit cards and run everything up. That is on you. And we have to let them live in that reality. Because if not, you will not retire the way you want to retire. I'm just saying. I know too many people, whether they're associates, friends, co-workers that are, have older children than mine, right? And they are their children are, either out the house, on their own, or some are still in the house as young adults in their 20s, plus, and they want to retire, but they don't. So, I sit there and listen. I'm like, what? Why don't you go ahead and do it? Like put your numbers out there and see what your numbers are, and go ahead and, what's going on there. And I can tell you that every single one of them have said the same thing in a different way, but it all boils down to one thing: because of their children. I'm sorry. Your child is how old? Okay. Okay, so they're no longer in K through 12. Okay. They graduated school. Okay, they decide not to go, but they're still at home. Okay, and so you're not retiring because what? No. What are we talking about here? See, when I was growing up, there was nothing to go back to. And I think it's just twofold, people. There was nothing to go back to. So we have done well for ourselves, and it's just a different time, and they just keep coming back, right? I keep hearing that too. They come back, right? And so now you have a household full of grown people. And you want to retire, but you're still taking care of your grown kids. They're not paying rent. They don't, some got their own phone bill, some still don't. They're not buying groceries, but they don't have a problem of going out and to eat or to purchase them a meal and bring it back and eat it at the house. But they're not contributing in any way. What are we doing out here? What is wrong with what I'm saying? Now, if you don't agree, you don't agree. But for real though, what are we doing out here? How are we preparing the next generation of leaders to take accountability and responsibility and to grow up and start living their own lives and making decisions? When we going to do that? Stop babying them. Let them go and live their lives. It does not mean that you do not love them because you're not allowing them to room in your house. Better yet, let's use the word squatting. I want to use the word squatting, right? Because they're actually squatting in your house if they're not paying, if they're not on a lease, if they're not a tenant of yours, they're squatting. They're squatting, because squatters don't pay for nothing. Oh, we want you to focus on this. No, I need you to focus on getting your life together. And you're not doing that here by living for free. Where we living for free at? Right, but put it in the chat. Where we living for free at? And, and it's all good. And you can, watch TV when you want to, and you have access to the internet, and you got access to the refrigerator, and you put the things in there. And where's that? Please let me know where it's at. Please let me know. Oh, it's at your house. Okay, it's at your house. It's at your house. Oh my gosh. So we are failing the next generation of leaders. We are failing them. We are not helping them, but we are failing them and not allowing them to grow. What helps us grow? Hardship. What helps us grow? Having to endure. You're going to have to go through something, young people, to grow, to learn, to get your aha moments, to really see life for the fullness of what it is, to really understand your part in it. Parents, you're going to have to let go. You're going to have to let go and love them enough to trust that everything is going to work out for the good. At the end of it all, it's going to work out for the good. They're not going to do it the way you do it. They're not going to go the path that you want them to go. They're going to choose what they want to choose, what they believe is best for them. And all you can do is sit back, watch, hope, pray, and keep that line of communication open. I had wrote today that I felt like it was a monumental moment with me and my daughter when we, graduated, the same time period. And she was able to see me, right, modeling behavior when it came to the commitment that it takes to achieve a degree. And, every morning we're getting up and we're doing devotion together just for 10 minutes. And I just really feel like, that's something that she will be able to hold on to from when she leaves from up under our guidance and begin to, go on her own journey in life. And she can always glean from those times. But most importantly, that she knows that wherever that she goes, that I got her covered. I got her covered. I got her back. That her mother is always praying. Her mother is being vigilant. Her mother is watching over her in the watchtower, interceding on her behalf. Again, she may not make the decisions that I want her to make, but I have the trust and hope that they will be good and that the prayers of the righteous availeth much. They availeth much. And that my hope and trust is in the Lord, that it will all work out. Because he knows better than I know. And I know you're like, Renee, you don't know, you don't understand, you haven't been there, wait till you get there. No, I know and I understand that as a parent, there are different seasons in how we do it. They were a gift to us. We don't own them. They were lended to us to take watch over, to take care, and to nourish and to care. And that we must realize that that looks different in every pivotal moment of their life. And at the end of it all, that their journey is not ours, but they are to go out there and to do great and wonderful things while they are in the earth. And we can prevent them from being a part of this great world, this great story, by interjecting our thoughts and our behavior and trying to protect them. So let them go. Let them go. They can still be in your house if that's what you're agreeing to. But why is it that they're not on a lease? You have to start them somewhere. Why are they not paying for their own phone bill and they have a job? Why are they not paying for their own trips when you all go on trips together? When they want to go with their friends, they can pay for that trip themselves. Why is it that they're not paying for their own meal? Every time you all go out, they're expecting for you to foot the bill. But they don't ever whip out their card. But when they go out with their friends, who's paying for their meal? If you haven't cooked at home, what do? Do they cook for everyone, or do they go out and purchase something? We have to help them grow up. Where are they getting the money from to go on these trips? Are they out there getting credit cards and purchasing stuff and that they don't need? You have to let them go. So our time is far spent. I know you didn't want to hear this today, but it was necessary because I love you. And we're on this journey together. And hey, when it's time to retire, you're not going to hear Renee saying, I can't go because these children, I got to take care of these children and I want to make sure I got the... No, you're going to be out of my pocket. You're going to be into your own, okay? Because I believe the choices that you make is all about what type of quality life you are choosing, right? You don't have to choose the one that I have. You don't have to choose the one that John has. You're making the choice of what you're deciding to do and what that quality of life. And I'm not here to pay for it. You're going to have to pay for it yourself. So I get it. I do. I get it. You want to protect them. But how much more do you love them? Do you really love them enough to allow them to grow and to thrive and to live out this journey and this great story, this great history, to be a part of it? All right. I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. And do know that leading is teachable. Until next time, stay blessed.